Prevent Child Abuse Utah is working hard right now to prevent child abuse through school-based prevention programs in our state.
Joining us now is Lorianne Thorpe, Executive Director, Prevent Child Abuse, and Mary Catherine Perry, Director of Policy and Government Affairs, the Policy Project. All right, ladies, it's time for a big update because the last time the two of you were here, it was looking good. Was this going to get passed? What's happened since we last saw you?
Well, since we were last here, the bill passed the entire legislature, and it didn't just pass, it passed unanimously. So and it didn't have a single no vote. So every single member of our legislature voted yes, and then it was fully funded. And so it's been a huge win for child sexual abuse prevention in Utah.
Remind our viewers what that bill was all about.
Yes, so it set up a structure to start funding child sexual abuse prevention in our elementary schools. Before that, we had that in place that it could happen, but there was not a lot of support behind it. Now there's a lot of support behind it, and Utahns are having these conversations, and our legislature is supporting it. We're so thrilled.
This is huge. What a win for our state. Lorianne, what does it feel like, and how will the schools begin implementing this program?
Well, we are so thrilled. I mean, we couldn't be happier. It's something that we, I think, as an organization have a hope for a long time. We've been taking presentations, this exact content, into schools for over 40 years in the state of Utah. But this, from the legislature, this bill passage is such... It's just a boon, right? Because it's really saying the legislature, the governor, everyone in the state of Utah really cares about this education happening and happening well with good boundaries and guidelines around it.
What does it mean for both of you that it was unanimous? What statement is that making?
Well, I think in the legislature we saw some reluctance to address some of these really tricky topics and how we deal with children, because it needs to be age appropriate. It needs to be well researched. But they're finally seeing that's happening and that it's necessary. So it's really, they're saying it's time. It's time to do this and time to help our children understand what they can do and kind of what's appropriate and how they can talk to adults if there's something wrong in their lives.
And remind us what ages this will be for and what the curriculum looks like, what the conversations are they'll be having in school, in class.
This will be for elementary school for K through 6, at least every other year. And then Lorianne can talk about the curriculum itself.
Yeah, so we have an approved curriculum through the State Board of Education, Prevent Child Abuse Utah does. And we are already in schools and talking to kids about this, and it's really, we're going to be back next week, and we'll have someone who will give you a preview of the curriculum and what kids are seeing in their classrooms. So
well,
we're excited
Lorianne,
about that.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Hopefully you'll see blue everywhere. Yes. And what's the significance of the blue pinwheels?
The pinwheel is a symbol of childhood happiness, and it also is, it's just a symbol of prioritizing prevention, right? You can buy a pinwheel during the month of April at our website, or a lapel pin, and we're just really excited about the opportunity to raise awareness of this problem during the month.
And you say get one or do the virtual pinwheel garden,
That's right.
which is new this year, and we can still go ahead and do that with the remainder of the month.
Absolutely. We need better representation on the west side of the country, making sure that we're getting those pinwheels in the virtual pinwheel garden.
So give our parents and grandparents watching an idea of this happening in the legislature. What will happen in their child's school? What changes will they see, and how soon will those take place?
Well, our hope is that more students in the state of Utah will be able to learn how to recognize, resist, and report child abuse. As often what we hear from kids is, I didn't know that what was happening to me was abuse. So they have to have someone who tells them. We absolutely think that that's a parent's role, to talk to their kids about abuse. But it's important when kids are sometimes, unfortunately, at risk of harm from their parents, that there's another way that we're communicating to kids about what abuse is, what it looks like, so that they can find a trusted adult, including their parents, that they can talk to and tell and get help.
And if parents say, oh, I need to have that conversation and I just don't know how to broach it, what would you say right now? When's the time, when's the age, and how do we start it?
Early earlier and oftener than you think, as soon as they have vocabulary, right? And then you're making sure you're teaching what a proper vocabulary is. It's part of normalizing a human sexual experience for the kids in regards to sexual abuse, but also helping them to understand. Talk to me whenever you're uncomfortable about anything. With my kids, I often say, if you feel embarrassed or ashamed, that's when you have to talk to me. Anytime that something's happening that you feel embarrassed about, those are the things we're going to talk about.
Well, and there is help and resources on pcautah.org, because so often parents, this is not the discussion we had with ours. This is different. We talk stranger danger. However many years ago. These are different discussions, and I think that resources are so important. Reach out to them. Please go to our website for more, abc4.com/GTU, and they're on social media. Those handles are there as well. Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by the show.
Thank you.